All right, picture this. It's 2026, and some of the best sailors on the planet are descending on Japan for the Aichi-Nagoya Asian Games. Everyone's got their eyes on a gold medal. But here's the thing. Winning isn't just about being the fastest. Long before a single sail is hoisted, every single athlete has to conquer a mountain of rules. This is the story of that rulebook.
So you gotta wonder, right? Beyond the sheer talent, the wind and the waves, what does it really take? What are all the hidden rules, the super detailed regulations, and the huge responsibilities an athlete has to deal with just to get to the starting line? Well, let's dive in and find out. You know, it all starts with this one document called the Notice of Race, or the NOR for short. And you should really think of it as the constitution for the whole event. For any sailor dreaming of a medal, mastering this book is the very first stage of the race. It lays out the entire game, and that's exactly what we're going to break down.
So here's our game plan. We're going to walk through this rulebook just like an athlete has to. We'll start with the foundation of fair play, then look at who even gets to show up. After that, we'll check out the field of play, break down the nitty-gritty of how you win gold, and then we'll uncover some of those unseen responsibilities that go way beyond just sailing a boat.
First things first, the official rulebook. And this isn't just one book, it's a whole framework, a complex system designed to make sure every single race is fair, creating a totally level playing field for everyone involved.
And right away, you see the first challenge. It's not one rulebook, it's a whole library. Athletes have to know the rules for their boat, their gear, their support team, even what they can say in media interviews. But here's the kicker. With teams from all over Asia, you're going to have different languages and translations. So, if there's ever a dispute, the official English text is the final undisputed word. No arguments.
Okay, so let's say you've done your homework. You know the rules inside and out. The next big question is, are you even allowed to compete? This part is all about the super strict criteria that decide who gets to represent their country out on the water.
Getting a spot on that start line is honestly a bureaucratic marathon. You can't just sail up and enter. First, your country's National Olympic Committee has to officially enter you. Then you have to prove your nationality. You also have to be registered with World Sailing. And if you're in a youth event, you have to be exactly the right age. It's a whole chain of green lights you need long before you even smell the saltwater.
And the competition itself is incredibly cool and diverse. We're talking about 14 different gold medals up for grabs. You've got the high-speed two-person skiffs that just fly across the water. Then there are the classic dinghies for both solo and two-person teams. And you've got the super athletic foiling windsurfers. Each one is a totally unique sport, really, requiring a completely different set of skills.
But get this. Across all of those 14 different events, the fleet is capped at only 144 athletes. That's it. That number just goes to show you how ridiculously exclusive this competition is. Every single one of those 144 spots is earned, not given, and you can bet they'll be fiercely defended.
All right, we know who's competing. Now let's look at where all this action's going to go down. The venue and the schedule are planned out with military precision, all designed to test these sailors in every possible condition.
And this is it. This is the battlefield. The waters off Kayo Yacht Harbor in Aichi. The whole competition is split across 4 different racing areas, A, B, C, and D. And each day, the race officials will look at the wind, the waves, the weather, and decide where to set the course. What that means is these athletes have to be ready for literally anything.
Now the timeline here is tight. The venue opens about a month early so teams can train, but the real crunch time is late September. Athletes get just 3 days for final registration and, this is huge, equipment inspection. Officials go over every inch of their boats to make sure they're legal. Then, boom, on September 26th, the racing starts. And just a week later, we have the final races and the victory ceremonies. It's a whirlwind.
Okay, this is what it all comes down to. How do you actually win? It's not as easy as just crossing the finish line first one time. Sailing uses a low-point scoring system, kind of like golf, that rewards consistency above everything else.
So the formula for gold is this delicate balance, this tightrope walk. First, you have to be unbelievably consistent through a whole series of opening races to keep your score as low as possible. But then, it all comes down to a clutch performance in one final high-stakes medal race, where the entire leaderboard can get flipped on its head.
So here's how it works. The lowest total score wins. Simple enough. You even get a little break. After 4 races, you get to throw out your worst score. But only the top 10 boats get to go to the final medal race. And in that one race, the points are doubled and you can't throw it out. It sticks. That means a sailor could be in the lead all week long, have one bad final race, and boom, the gold medal is gone. The pressure is just immense.
And finally, let's talk about the fine print. Because an athlete's job doesn't stop when they cross that finish line. Competing at this level brings a whole bunch of responsibilities that most of us never even think about.
Just by entering the race, these athletes are agreeing to a lot. They hand over all their media rights to the organizers. They might be told to carry cameras and microphones on their boats. They have to display event advertising. They're absolutely forbidden from using their own drones. And of course, they have to be ready for doping control at any moment. They're not just sailors, they're part of a massive international broadcast.
And this number right here, this really puts the professional stakes into perspective. Every single boat is required to have third-party liability insurance for at least $250,000 US, and that's per incident. This isn't just a weekend regatta, it's a high-stakes professional environment with serious financial consequences if things go wrong.
And that all leaves us to this final, really powerful quote, taken directly from the rulebook. After all the organizers, all the committees, all the support teams, it says the ultimate decision to race, or to keep racing, rests with the sailor alone. It's this incredible reminder that at the very heart of all these rules and all this pressure lies the skill, the judgment, and the ultimate accountability of the athlete. So, when we watch in 2026, the real question isn't just who's the fastest, but who has truly mastered every single rule of the game.